Hello, this is Z, CTO and founder of Superface AI, intelligent tooling platform, and I would love to give you an overview of the product. We all know this firsthand. There is this reality gap crisis, as I call it. Agents are failing 7 times out of 10 runs. The productivity gains are rather small, and most of the companies are dropping their initiatives because of the disappointment with Agentic AI. Now, this is what Superface is fixing. We are raising Agentic success rates to beyond what is normal, what is standard. We are able, through our concept of Agent Specialist, to raise the accuracy to over 80% and make your task succeed. Superface is the first agentic connectivity platform specifically built for Agentic Success. Superface connects your AI applications, be it your custom application or third-party application that you might be using, to the systems that you want to interact with. We of course have some pre-built connectors, but we realized really quickly that the success lies in specifically built connectors for the agentic task that your agents want to have. We were even able to push the success rates of agents through the concept of specialist agents, which are intelligent connectors, self-contained agents that know how to interact with the target systems properly. So we have built our agent, we call it Edgar, to build the integration, but we also have a specialist agents to interact with the systems to be able to raise the agentic accuracy way higher. Now let me give you a quick overview of the product. So here I'm in the Superface, I'm looking at the main screen. This is where I can connect my agents, whether they are Claude, GPTs, or I'm using some sort of SDK or MCP. To illustrate this, I'll be using OpenAI Agent Builder and Claude from Anthropic. I have already some tools added to my Superface MCP, and I could go over here in OpenAI Builder, Agent Builder, and see these tools are indeed available here. Now I have my Claude pre-configured, and I'll run this query here in Claude. Hey, add a task to Todoist to record a Superface demo. Now, if I will run this, I currently do not have Todoist in my list or set of tools made available to it. So it will try, but it will fail because there is no tool made available to Claude that can do this. This is of course not going to work because Claude is currently hallucinating, thinking, hey, I can do this, but I don't just have the tool. Let's go ahead to Superface and fix it. I'll be demonstrating our agent Edgar that I mentioned previously to create a tool. So I'll head over to Superface, click Create Tool. I'll be using Live API, so this agent will be actually making testing calls to that API to even further refine the tools for Agentic Success. Let's run this query, and let's also summon the Todoist on the side so we can observe what it will happen. Alright, so now my agent in Superface is working, trying to figure out how to indeed talk to Todoist. It will search the web, it will look at the Todoist API documentation, and it will try to build a connector. And this is not using OpenAPI specification, this is doing what your integration engineer would be doing. So in a moment, it will start putting together the integration code, but also testing it. So you should see some testing calls in Todoist in a moment. Okay, so at this point it is asking me to provide the credentials, which I have already granted. And let's observe some testing calls happening in my Todoist. Of course, you want to run this against some sandbox environment because this is agent figuring out how to talk to that API on its own. Now it might do a few more calls. You see, I've never asked it to add a task to buy groceries. This is the agent figuring out the integration, observing the results from the API, and further refining the connectors for what I wanted. It has created a few more testing calls, and at any point soon it should be happy with the integration. Now this integration has been already made available through my Superface MCP. So let's check out here in OpenAI Agent Builder, maybe refresh really quick and see the result. Okay, I can see the task or the tool has been added here. So I can see the tool here. And if I head over to Claude, I'll just reload the Claude, make sure that it picks up the latest updates from Superface. And I'll tell it to try again. Basically what happened, I have already created a new tool for what I needed. I have automatically loaded it here into Claude. Let's summon Todoist on the side so we can see it happening. You can see the tool has been picked by Claude immediately, and the task has been created in Todoist. So this is the fastest and easiest way how you can add new tools into your agentic applications. Let's take a look at the Superface Specialist. So these agents that are able to raise the accuracy of agentic AI. So to illustrate this, we have a playground, and I'll be using this playground with a third-party solution to connect to HubSpot. And I have my HubSpot instance, which is currently empty, and I will basically run in my playground a very simple basic task. Hey, I had a new lead from a website. John, he works at Acme. Let's see what will happen with a pre-built or MCP tool that has been given to this agent. Now this is running and figuring out from 78 tools what it should do. All right. So it says, hey, I have created John from Acme. Let's go over to HubSpot and see what happened there. All right. I don't see Acme. If I go into contacts, I do indeed see John, but there is no company associated with it. So that's probably not what we wanted when he said, hey, I have a new lead, John from Acme. Let's go ahead and erase it from the HubSpot and try again the same query, with the very same query, with the same agentic loop, just with a different tooling approach. And this time that will be Superface Specialist. So I'll switch to Specialist and I run the same query again. HubSpot Specialist is running. You can look into the details. It's figuring it out what needs to happen in that CRM. And let's wait a bit and observe the difference between your MCP connectors and a smart tooling from Superface Specialist. I can see I have a Acme created. Let's see if there is a contact associated with Acme, and that's indeed John. So we have now created both John and his company and associated both together. So this is a day and night difference between just having 78 tools thrown at the agent, whereas specialist agent knows what it actually means when I say, hey, I have a new lead. This is his name, this is where he works. So it knows it needs to create both and associate them together in the CRM. This was just a quick overview of Superface. There is much more. There is the hub of capabilities, autonomous connectivity, specialist agents, and also recently we have added ArcPay, our first agentic wallet, enabling agents to pay autonomously for agentic commerce protocols such as OpenAI's ACP or Google's AP2 and UPC. If you want to know more, please get in touch. I'll show you around and I'll be happy to talk about how Superface can help your agents and your agentic AI to succeed.